Was it hard
Very hard.
readjusting to being back in the community? Like, what kind
Oh
of
yeah,
challenges?
I always thought I was a loser. I'd never fit in. Now things are going together. Was for Hope Haven, praying for me, people being there for me, I would be still lost. They build strength and give me hope.
I'm Karrisa for Torch Media. Last night, we were outside the downtown Chatham Center where people were setting up cardboard boxes and blankets to sleep in outside. It was the third annual Boxes and Blankets event where people slept outside to raise pledge money and awareness for the Chatham Hope Haven, which is a foundation for homeless men. It may be the most people you'll see sleeping on a sidewalk in Chatham, but that doesn't mean that homelessness doesn't exist here. It's just less visible than it is in a larger city like Toronto. The Chatham-Kent 10-year plan for housing and homelessness stated that it's invisible. It estimated in the plan that around 600 people actually experienced homelessness between 2012 and 2013 here. In 2014, the Haven established itself to try to reduce that number. But to date, it still hasn't been able to provide overnight stays to homeless men. We spoke with the program manager to ask what the holdup has been in providing overnight service. We also spoke with Riley, a man who's experienced homelessness in Chatham previously and is using the daytime services at the Haven. But for now, let's go find out how the event participants are feeling.
We're using the church for the basement for the men to sleep in and eat and live and go out and try to find a job and stuff. And
What church?
New Beginning Ministry.
Are overnight stays being offered at the Haven?
Not yet. I don't think they're doing it just yet, but we will be soon. That's why we're raising the money every year to get going, finishing up the basement and stuff.
Young kids are surfing from couch to couch, house to house, park to park. No. Jeff Parker from Chatham, Ontario, out here sleeping to raise money for the homeless and hope they can get some beds ready by Christmas, hopefully. We already raised over $1 million for the Women's Center, so we need something for the men. And the mayor needs to know we need to do this. He needs to be out here.
I'm James Ferris. I've been homeless probably 5-6 years now, just pretty much because there's not accommodations for anybody with my breathing asthma. Like, I got asthma, I got claustrophobia, a few other issues, and I've been incarcerated a few years for wrongfully accused and stuff, and it's just, there's nothing really for a person that you can afford, even on ODSP.
Why did you decide to participate in the event tonight?
I don't know. I've had some family that's been directed around homelessness, not here in Ontario, in Montreal, but it's a big epidemic here in Ontario too. I know there's, I think, 76 documented cases in Chatham-Kent. In a small town like this, I don't think it's necessary. When it's bitter cold out there at -20, there's no reason why anybody should have to sleep outside. I think it's just ridiculous.
So how do you think this one night on the street compares to years living on the street?
One night will give you the feeling of it. If you're prepared, well, it's no big deal. Years of it, you get used to everything messing up, but I don't recommend to none. But if you do it, well, just make sure you're somewhere late where there's light, there's a washroom, and they say stay away from Timmy's. I'm kicked out of a few, but I guess I walk in. Apparently I smoke my miscible marijuana, and sometimes it gets into the facility when you're outside. But all depends on what your circumstances are. Like, if you're homeless because of a child or some kind of abuse, I can understand that. But if you're homeless because you got money and you just want to do it, there's a difference. I find everybody's got their downs, outs, and reasons why.
First of all, when we talk about homelessness being invisible here, is that a lot of times it's because homeless people often want to be invisible. They're not proud that they're homeless.
We're about to go speak with Riley, a man who is currently using the daytime services being offered at the Haven. He has a lot to say about homelessness and hope. And he's going to show us where he used to sleep down by the river when he was struggling with substance abuse. So Riley, I understand you used to sleep in the park here. Is
Yeah.
that true? Are you gonna
Yes.
can you take us to where that used to be?
Yes, I'll take you to where I used to rest. Used to lay by the side of the river.
By the side of the river?
Yeah, on the bank over here.
When was that?
Oh, this is quite a few years ago when I got out of jail. I had nowhere to go. I never drank till 20, and when my sister died, I become an alcoholic, and I would drink heavy, and I drown my thoughts with drinking and wouldn't know where I was at.
So did the alcoholism lead to...
It led to trouble for me. This is where I used to crash along here, and I'd lay down in here where nobody could see me, and I'd just lay and pass out.
Did anyone ever
Right in here, see?
come and bother you?
No one bothered me. People just walked by. I used to sleep and laying down in here. When I got out of jail, I had felt hopeless and nobody would care about me, and I had nowhere to go. So now I'm feeling a lot better about myself. I'm starting to grow, and that's why I'm hoping Hope Haven will open so I can be part of it.
So we're here outside the downtown Chatham Center. It's around 7 a.m. and the Boxes and Blankets participants have slept outside all night. We're about to go ask them how they're feeling. Hey guys, how are you feeling this morning?
Fine, and so is Teddy. I just want the mayor to be here.
Sleep was short and sweet. A lot of voices all night long, traffic all night long. Oh man, it's just amazing. I can't believe it, you know. There's somebody that's homeless over there. I don't know how they get much sleep over there with all the noise and carrying on that's going on in town.
As you can see, we are under major construction right now.
When was the center originally opened? Was it 3 years ago?
Yeah, it's been about 3 years now that we've been working hard. Sometimes we run into some walls, but now things are...
What have some of those walls been?
Well, finances. Number one is finances. And then there are things that we needed to do to the building to make it safe for the guys to be here. We got a new roof on the building. We have new windows on the building. We put in a new bathroom. We had to get firewalls up.
Can you tell us a little bit more about what it was like to sleep down here?
Oh, I felt I was out of society, away from people. I didn't want them to see the way I was because I was homeless and I had nowhere to go, and I didn't want anybody to know that I was like that. I took it all myself to just go along the river and lay down and pass out.
Describe what you brought down there with you. Did you bring anything?
Well, no, I used to eat people to leave stuff at the picnic tables and stuff, and there's warm food and stuff like they left behind, because obviously people see me that I was kind of hungry, and I went up there and ate, and it really was good. Then I would come back and I'd just lay down and rest.
Were you drinking at that time?
Oh yeah, I was drinking very heavy. Didn't want to be around. Today I do, because I feel I'm growing a lot. It's by people in Hope Haven that give me strength and hope.
And when do you think that you'll be able to provide overnight stays?
Well, we're looking at very soon. We don't have a definite date yet because, as you can see, we're in the middle of construction. We don't know how quickly we're going to be able to finish things up.
There were some people last night at the event who were kind of like raising concerns about how some of the money has been used at the center. Have you ever come across that?
Yes. Well, the thing of it is that, like, in regards to any organization, you have bills that need to be paid. Hydro and the gas need to be paid. On top of all that, if you see all of the things that have been done around here, I mean, you know, we've spent a lot of money. So in terms
How much money, do you know?
I'm not exactly sure, but I do know, I can't say exactly, but I do know that our roof, like, you know, I'm sure like it was like $30,000, our windows, So, you know, I'm sure that we're over the $100,000 mark. Sure, you can offer someone a place to stay. It has to be somewhere where they, number one, can really stay. It can't be somewhere where, again, they're just moving to another bed.
So it'll be sometime before we know how much money was raised at the event last night, and before we know when overnight stays will be offered at the Haven as they continue to struggle with delays. But as we've seen, construction is underway, and eventually an overnight service will be offered to homeless men in Chatham, a service that is sorely needed, as we've seen.